I can't find.
Welcome to
can't
Lunch and
find the
Learn
cookies.
Zoom Friday, the Halloween edition. Oh, Kate, are you able to find something?
I'm like an Egyptian princess or something.
I see you have.
that. There you go. There you go.
My
I like
favorite
that,
is
Kate.
berries. Berries is my favorite. Barry, I see you as a unicorn now. I will never unsee. I can't unsee that. You just can't unsee that.
Oh man, Kay. Looks like man, you need to go
Michelle?
get a wax job done this week.
Is Michelle still here? Michelle, I sent you a message privately in the chat.
Oh, okay, let's do our screenshot. I'll do a 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Do another one. All right. This is even more fun than if we had come, I think.
It is.
I'm gonna just say as a preempt, my apologies to everyone, but I have to leave at 1:30 today. And I'm sorry, this is one of my favorite groups and I try to always stay and come, but some things have been popping up and it's all new client stuff, so I can't be sad
That's
about
right.
it.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And we have a couple of things. One, Olivia will be here a little bit late. They've had a friend of the family that passed away, and she is in
Oh.
Boston, and so she will be in around 1 o'clock. And then I believe Jeffrey and them made it back home to Florida. And then I also heard from Val Beard this morning, and Mary Long is flying into Toronto. So she has agreed to go pick her up from the airport. So I told her, make sure you post a picture because, you know, a couple of Eagles getting together. I don't know if they actually have known each other before or have actually seen each other live. So that's always fun, I think.
And I think
It is.
I think they're gonna do a yoga class with me when they're down.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
definitely
I'm
get some
teaching,
pictures.
I'm teaching 3 yoga classes on Sunday, so hoping that they make it to that one of those.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. A couple of things that I want to bring up. I had some crazy issues. My driver's license is not due to expire until my birthday, which is November the 16th. And I went to buy Bitcoin yesterday, and it said I needed to, you know, upload. I don't know why, because I've been with the same wallet forever. But anyway, so it told me to upload. Well, I did. And because my driver's license, I thought it was not 3 months, you know, out or whatever. It said that wasn't good for my verifying my identity or address, whatnot. So due to COVID, we have to make an appointment. I wasn't sure that I could do that, but anyways, I was able to get in yesterday. So I went up there and got a brand new driver's license, came home and tried it again, and it declined it again. One time it said it wasn't clear. Well, it was very clear, you know, front and back and all of that. I tried military ID and I tried this, I've tried that, and I don't know what the deal is. So I need another alternative wallet to use to buy some Bitcoin and exchange. If anybody can refer something to me right quick so I can quickly open up a new account today.
Have you
wallet are
tried
you using?
deleting all your cookies and everything before going back in? Because my guess is it wasn't the closeness of your expiration date. If you didn't have that gold star, whatever they put
No,
on
I
the
do.
driver's
I do have that gold star on there.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you
I
didn't
can
delete your
help with
cookies
that.
and it's tracking the cookies, it's still going to continue to reject you. So if you clear out all your cookies in cache and try it one more time.
And maybe go in through incognito.
Well, it was just, it keeps coming back through my email. You know what I'm saying? And I did it from my phone.
Which wallet was it, Nancy?
Let's see here.
I can help you with it after class.
Well, I mean, there's nothing else. Tried to call, it's the bitcoin.com wallet. I've tried to contact their customer service. Let me turn this off right quick.
I just sent some more money in, actually.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah, I just private message you. So if I ever owe anything or you ever need money, just contact me. I can always pay. I just never know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, I can relate to that, Jess.
Well, we have been discussing that, trying to come up with a solution that we can put that on autopilot for everybody. And I'm so thrilled If y'all noticed, we've got about now, I've put about 22 ambassadors to work. And so that's the first thing because of today's topic that I want to discuss on how well this is working. It doesn't take a lot of activity. It just takes a little bit. So I just want to give you a short little screen share on what has been happening. Now, as we grow and as the algorithms get smarter and all of that stuff, I've got my people set up in teams and we'll be, you know, flip-flopping on who does what, when they do it and all of that stuff. But right now we haven't had any issues. My post, we're getting lucky 12, and I am in the top, I'll show you, according to LinkedIn. Oh, of course now. Well, it showed, I think I showed you last week, I'm in the top 1% in my industry as well as in my network. And I think I was at 77 or 78 was my score on LinkedIn.
How do you look that up again?
That's a good question. I had an article that
Go back.
I posted the link and it was in that article and I could never get the actual link.
Nancy, just go back to where you were and the link shows right at the top. It's sales /
There it is.
SSI.
Okay, there we
Oh,
go.
that's right. I wrote
There we
that
go.
down.
Okay. And so here it gives you the components of your score. Now, granted, this is just right now, you know, take this with a grain of salt, but it is very helpful. You know, it can kind of tell you where you need to work on your engagement and all of that. People in my industry, 27 out of 100, I'm at 77, 36 out of 100, etc. Okay, so the bottom line was when I was doing my post, and it didn't matter what kind of post, whether it was my strategic management, whether it was investment club, no matter what kind of post that I was doing, I was lucky if I was getting 20 views. Lucky, very lucky. Okay, now that we started in doing the LinkedIn posting parties, obviously that started in going up. And then we mentioned last week, and I've been mentioning in my post some of the things that I've learned, and everybody's busy. You don't have time to be doing all these posting parties. You need to be working on your business. And so this is why I decided to launch this ambassadors program and let them do that for you. So all that you would have to do would be, you know, give me your links and then they'll do the heavy lifting for you. So for example, right here was today's, let me go to yesterday's just to show you. And it doesn't take very many comments or people for this thing to work. And let me show you this. Let's see. This is my post yesterday. And it's at 307. There is no way. I probably hadn't got 307 in all the years that I was doing LinkedIn. As many followers and all of that stuff that I have across all of this stuff. And what's interesting is some of my old posts now are 400 and 500 views. And the reason that this is important is I shared today, I believe it was, with LinkedIn, we were talking about what's a good engagement rate. Well, according to what I've researched online, Googled it to death and all of that stuff, it appears that if you can get a 2% rate, you're doing really, really good. And that number is based on over there on the side number of the followers by your engagements. And when it's talking about engagements, there's a variety of things that can be considered engagements. You know, that's your likes, shares, comments, recommendations, all of those things are actually considered engagements. So since I've kind of been focused on this for about the last 3 weeks, I thought it would be great today that we use this as our topic and talk about some unique social media ideas to engage your audience, because we don't want to be boring. We don't want to be doing the same things over and over again. And we do have quite a variety in this group. So
can I ask you to share in detail again, just for people who may don't remember or know, what it is you're doing, what it costs and how they're doing it and all of that. So we can at least know that part before we go into just a mastermind, if you don't mind.
Well, I don't want this turned into a Nancy Gaskins pitch fest, and I don't want y'all to think that that's what I'm doing. So I
Well, I
can't.
can share my experience too, Nancy, because I've been
okay,
doing
it's-
it just this week.
Okay,
with you.
I'm just starting out, $30 for 20 posts. So you can try it out as a member. There's no additional cost. You can just try it out. You can do.
Can you
those-
put the link in the chat where we can register to sign up to do that with you, or?
Yep, I will.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Melissa.
So I just got onto my sales information, and apparently now I'm also in the top 1% of my industry, which there's no way that I would have been there before.
I am as well.
So it's interesting to see that. But in terms of my posts, because I am terrible on social media, I don't have time to go and comment on everybody else's. So I know my algorithms were absolutely crap. And my posts before were getting less than 20. And I just started this, last Thursday, maybe, Nancy? And now every post is consistently getting over 150 views in just a week. The one where I actually posted that I got the award, that one's almost at 1,000 because there's a whole bunch of people interacting on that one.
Amazing.
But I can definitely see the growth in literally a week. I did express concern to Nancy after Jessica said last week about the pods. And so that's why she's got this bigger team. And so now different people are commenting. And while you guys were all talking about crypto, I was listening and then going in and replying to all of the comments that came in overnight, because there was quite a few. And they're watching my videos and they're making really good, relevant comments about my posts. So 3 of my posts a week are like my 1-minute health hacks, and the others are about the podcast. It even sounds like they're actually listening to the podcast based on what they're commenting.
That is the requirement right now. And I know a little bit later, because I'm still considering this beta testing, because basically I'm promoting it to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I probably will charge more for the videos a little bit later on, just because that's what I have told them. You have to listen to it. If there is a question, you have to answer the question. If it needs to be a thoughtful comment or whatever. And the reason for this is it's a catch-22. If you don't get the views, you can't get your information out there so more people can see it to engage for a potential client. Like this morning, I've already had somebody reach out to me interested in passive income, and she's a property management company. And I think she's like a real estate investor. I just quickly, before I come on here, wanted to kind of look at her bio. So it's not just, yes, we want views and we want to expand our reach and all that stuff. But, obviously the end goal is we want you to get more clients and get more leads in your funnel. And we'll be tweaking this as we go along. And I'm asking them, because a lot of these, they're VAs and different things from different countries, and to make this easier, on how we can do it. But we're not limiting them right now to 2-hour blocks. We will eventually. And then what I've noticed on my post is it's only took like 7 or 9 comments and reactions to get hundreds. So even though I was thinking, it's going to take a whole lot to do this, what I'm noticing as I'm bringing on a little bit more people each week, it really hasn't been taken that much to kind of open up that algorithm. But the key is going to be eventually, like Jessica was saying, that I'm going to have to assign, and I've got a way that we're doing that now. And then we'll also be doing it in blocks of time, because I want to keep these posts alive as long as possible, especially if you're going to do some rotating. So with that said, let's talk about some of the different unique ways that you can engage your audience. And it doesn't have to be you doing it. You can have somebody, you can hire Jessica's team to create some of this content, but I'm going to start out by something that I've been doing. And that would be, I'm doing the, oh my goodness, the FIRE, retire early, financial independence. And that's where I had started in talking about passive income. So it's kind of like a series. And I've done that for a couple of weeks. Next, I'm going to do a different series. That's just one strategy that you can use. And you don't want to be boring and do that all the time, but that's just what I started with. So it's kind of like a soap opera. You know what I'm saying? You start, you give everybody a little bit of piece, you go further, go further, go further, and you're kind of digging into it a little bit more each time. What are some of the things that you guys have used or that you have noticed that you found was very maybe creative or helpful or made you want to read and comment?
I started doing my 1-minute health hacks recently, which I know you've seen and commented on, and other people are seeing. Just the way LinkedIn is with live videos, tracking that is, I think, harder, but I'm really enjoying that. And each week I have a different theme. So I do these little 1-minute health tips per the theme of the week to just, provide education for people and things that they can implement into their daily lives really easily. And I chose to do that because that takes less time and effort for me than having to create a post and create the image that goes with it. Because for me, that just is, I don't enjoy doing that. Whereas just speaking for a minute into the screen and posting that through StreamYard, and you can pre-record them with StreamYard, do a whole bunch at once, and then just set them up to go out and they look live. So I've found that really easy to do.
Now, have you ever compared that, Melissa, with when you actually go live, like for the engagement?
I haven't, because I've
one
never
of
gone
the-
live on LinkedIn before anyway. I would only
Okay.
ever go live on Facebook.
Yeah, so what I find is when I go live, that's when I get the most engagement with everyone. And it's almost like they're like, hey, there you are, hi, and they see that I'm out there again.
Mhm.
And what you can do when you go live is you can actually, what I am careful and cognizant of doing is not saying the date and things
Right.
like that, so
Yeah.
that I can
Repurpose
download it
Yeah.
and repurpose it, because at the end of the live, you have the option to save it to your photos. And then it's already there. Then you could choose to edit it at that time if you needed to, or take out excerpts from it or whatever. But then you've got that live engagement, because I know that Facebook especially boosts your algorithm when you're live.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can download on Facebook, you can also download your videos right there and then after you're done
Yeah.
doing it live.
Mhm.
And then you can also put it in Cloud Convert really quickly and you can upload it into any platform that you want to. As far as an audio is concerned, I do that with I'm doing that for my podcasting.
Right.
One-
They're 1 minute. I just like recording a bunch, and when I'm in that frame of mind and doing them all at the same time, instead of having to get into that frame of mind 3 times a week to put it out. So that's kind of weighing, where we're at and what we're doing and the time of day we want it to go out and planning our day around it. Right.
And that's the other
So-
thing that I'm going to be tracking. I've got a guy he's really good with stats, and he's going to be helping me put some stats together for that. We're going to be trying different times. One of the things also on your videos that I wanted to comment was, I love how short they are, because it gets you in, it gets you out, gives you some real good tips. And then the other thing is, because you're using StreamYard, if somebody, and people do this all the time, even though they shouldn't at work, they can see your text and what's going on without having to listen to the video. So that's a big plus as well. Kate, you want to tell us what you're doing? I see something in the chat there.
Yeah, so it's funny. I started a Health Bite series. I've got them backed up in my computer because I'm doing a video challenge right now. So I'm doing a series that's going to follow along with the book that I wrote, because I wrote a booklet. And so I've started doing that. And then after I'm done that, I'm going to do a series on color and image and so on and so forth. That's just going to be I'm giving myself some time for that, because I've got to think more about how it is I'm going to show up on those videos, more than just professionally, but I'm just kind of figuring that out. And then I'm going to do a series on the sort of personal and spiritual side of things, because I'm really focusing on letting people know that it's, that what I do is all about mind, body, and spirit. So I want to do that 3-part harmony.
one thing that I'm noticing that I know it was really hot and now I think it's being overdone, it's almost annoying, is the polling your audience. Have y'all noticed that? It's like
The what?
everybody's on the bandwagon again, the polling the audience. You know, once it started out, you know, and every once in a while it's okay, especially it gives really good feedback. A lot of times, some of the stuff I think is just ridiculous that they may be asking just to get engagement. And for me, that's a total waste of your audience's time and your time if you're just trying to like poke somebody and just to get a bunch of people. You know, it needs to be, in my opinion, it needs to be relevant to what it is that you're doing to your particular audience.
There's a lot of people that are just, it's a time waster. Like they're putting up information that is no relevancy or meaning, or it's just, and like really stupid stuff. And LinkedIn used to have more consistently quality things. They still do. They still are a better platform in that way, but they've really declined a lot. When people started to figure out that they weren't making money on Facebook, they really started to move over to LinkedIn.
Well, and I think it's because it's turned into the wild, wild west almost, because everybody is migrating over to LinkedIn. I mean, just look at us. Most of us was on it, but not on it. And now we're on it. And so now it's even more obvious for what people are, you know, doing on there. Next topic, articles. Now it's really tough because not everybody is writers, but that tends to, based on my research, they were talking about it being a really good engagement thing. But here's what gets me. Okay, I Google up something because I'm trying to get some research, and there's a great top 20 list. And you pull it up and it gives you 7, and you click on it and it takes you to an article. And then the article, you have to scroll down through all that millions of junk just to get the data that you want. Well, that's not, I don't like that. If I'm trying to get my list, I want the whole doggone list, and I don't want to have to read and then I can't grab it, you know, to use the information. So for me, that's a little annoying. Anybody else? Anybody out there blogging or articles? You know, I was doing my newspaper column and I've just about quit that because I'm doing so much post on LinkedIn. You know, they're 1,300 characters, and that's almost like my newspaper article.
Well, I think it just depends on how people put their article together, honestly, and stuff. I mean, there's some really poorly written articles.
And remember the thing that Jessica told us about a while ago, Descript.com or even otter.ia or whatever. When you're doing like those 1-minute videos, it'll transcribe the whole thing for you. You can take out any of the ums and everything else just by a little click of saying, remove all the ums and then and edit it just really quickly. And then you've got your article, right?
So, has any of you applied to do your LinkedIn live streaming too from the computer using StreamYard? If you've applied and haven't received it yet and you're still waiting, there's a way, there's a little trick a lot of people don't know. So I don't know if that's a helpful, I don't want to use the time if that's not,
that's helpful.
Is that okay, Nancy?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what you need to do to know, LinkedIn is really funny. They don't actually send you an email or put something on your page to say, hey, by the way, you've got it. So I just helped one of my other clients who applied, but she didn't think she had it. And what you have to do is you have to go into StreamYard, and you can even use the free version. So just to double check. So if you're not paying for StreamYard, don't worry, you don't need to. And then you go into create a broadcast and hit a new broadcast, and then add the plus sign to try to hook your LinkedIn up to it. And then it'll ask you for the password for your LinkedIn. And then if you can get in, you're in. And people just don't know that they're in. And so you actually have to try to link StreamYard to your LinkedIn profile page in order to see if you've been approved.
And I read that when I was trying to go through that process, and it said it could take up to 24 to 48 hours. And so I just went back and I was able to connect, and it was literally within 24 hours.
How do you initiate the request?
So you have to first apply. There's an application form on LinkedIn. So,
Okay.
And if you're using StreamYard and you go to add a connection, it will send you to that link that gives you the instructions.
Oh, okay.
I can put the
What's
I
the
can put the
advantage of using
application.
StreamYard?
I can put the application for the live in the chat if you want.
yeah, if you have it, I was just about to do it. I don't have it yet though. So if you have it, Laura, go ahead, drop it.
What's the advantage of using StreamYard above?
Actually, there's about 5, if you go to LinkedIn's live streaming guidelines, there's about 5 of what they would call like the approved vendors that you can third party use. And I haven't actually bought StreamYard yet because I'm researching what's the pros and cons and what's the benefits and prices of each, so I can make a choice. I've just been using the free version for the moment. Yeah. So there's a couple of different platforms that LinkedIn is okay with, and I would suggest using one of the ones they mentioned, and that's listed in the LinkedIn live guidelines on the help page. So there's a whole article on that. They actually also suggest 20 minutes or longer than 10 minutes, and ideally around 20. And they have a whole bunch of guidelines they give you on when you're doing your live streaming with them. And I try to follow that stuff because I think ultimately you might get more love organically, just a guess. I don't know, who knows, right? But I give it a shot, right, Olivia? Like, just try to do what they recommend and you hopefully get better results that way.
And Kate, I used it because I was familiar with it. I'd been on other people's shows using it. And then I just kind of wrote out what my criteria was. And one of them was to be able to pre-record and schedule posts, and it could do that. So I went with it. I didn't know there was other choices that LinkedIn accepted. I kind of started with StreamYard and ended up with LinkedIn Lives, not the other way around, right? And I've
Wow.
only just recently started using it, but it's really user-friendly.
And you can schedule them. I really like, that's awesome that you can do the same.
That's new. And so I was really happy to find that. And that's when I went with it.
And that's
Wonderful.
the free version as well, or paid?
No, I do. Because I live stream to 3 places at a time. So I have the minimum paid version is what I did.
Okay, what's the minimum paid version?
I can't remember how much it was. I can look
Okay.
it up. I paid on an annual basis. I can
No
look
big
at it
deal.
quickly and put it in the
Look.
chat for you.
Nancy, I'm private messaging you. Read my messages later.
Okay. Okay. I got my sidekick in here now. I can't walk and chew gum evidently, without Olivia here. So glad to see you back, Olivia. We were talking.
One of the things I was going to mention this is if you're doing podcasts, I'm on Anchor.fm, and I just got notified. It's a free platform, and they're actually owned by Spotify now, so they send it out to all a lot of other platforms, including Spotify and Apple and whatnot.
That's where my podcast, where I do my podcast through too.
And they just recently sent a email saying that they've added video.
Oh,
And
Do you have that link from Bruce? Do you have a link?
Well,
or Kate?
it's just Anchor.fm.
Anchor.fm.
They don't do any referral stuff.
I don't
Like
know.
you guys.
I don't know. I'll check.
Why don't you guys check that out for me? Because I'd love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I haven't explored if that's available. That video is part of their free, membership, or if you have to pay for it. But one of the things that I do, I haven't done it in a while, and I've got to get back into the consistently doing it. But I've been recording using Zoom, which has a separate audio file. So then I take that audio file and I, plug that into the Anchor.fm for the podcast aspect, and then the video I was uploading to my YouTube channel. So,
Kate, I replied to you in the chat.
Okay, great. Thanks.
While we're asking questions about technology, I'm looking for a membership site so I don't have to be reliant on Facebook, where I can have a private membership and be able to post content there. And I was just wondering if anybody had any recommendations.
Apparently Kajabi's really good because it covers a lot of ground and it also has a membership site. I have a friend of mine that's been using it and she's really hot on it.
Oh, I got the.
It's really
the li-
expensive and I don't need all its other things because
Yeah.
Yeah, what about, do you have a WordPress website
I
already?
do.
Yeah, you
do.
can get a membership plugin, just your
Yeah.
own site. Don't go to somebody,
Ah,
bring them right to you. I
okay.
think my team member emailed you that because we saw your question.
Well, I
And,
was looking for a reply. I didn't see that. I'll have to look again.
yeah, it's on
I,
her list. So yeah, membership plugin is great.
I also recommend Learn Dash. I have all my courses on there.
On what?
Learn Dash.
And I have another one I can send you a link to called Challenge Creator, and it's an app and it'll keep your people engaged and gamify everything and that. And it's just come out of beta, so they have a really good pricing and it works seamlessly. It's beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you.
I like having them
y'all-
all in one place though, because.
Yeah,
for-
if y'all
for
would
WordPress-
send me that, then I will send that out in an email to everybody. Whatever you've got, that would be great.
Jessica,
Laura,
I don't see a reply from you by email. Maybe it can be sent again, but thank you.
Yeah, I'll message you. But for WordPress, I just want to say you can do an affiliate plugin, the membership plugin, and what's the other thing? All the pieces can all live in, learning management system. I have a learning management system too for courses, and they can all be under the same umbrella, same location, unless you want to break it up to all these other spots. But just a thought.
Yeah, I like keeping it all together, so that's good to know. But the Challenge Creator app sounds fun too. So yeah, thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that, everyone.
Just while at it, says one of my friends up in Canada, she's got it's available. I think it's available U.S. and Canada, but it's Zenler. I got to find
Oh
out.
yeah, yeah, I've heard of that
And
too.
she's been using that, putting her courses on there. I'm not sure about membership site, but one of the interesting things about that is I don't know if it's a certain level. I think it's at any level and stuff that you sign up for. It includes Zoom, but so you don't have to have a separate Zoom account. But the thing is, there some of the settings aren't really available for you to tweak that you would normally have in your Zoom account. So that's kind of the downside on that aspect. But I'll get more information on that and send that to Nancy too.
all right, thank you. Laura is going to have to leave here in just a minute, as well as Jessica. Laura hasn't been here. I wanted to give her a couple of minutes to talk about the Florida project that she and I are kind of working on together. So Laura, you want to kind of tell them about that so they can help us start getting the word out, see if anybody might want to come to Florida in February?
Well, I know it's a given all the Canadians want to, so yeah, right on. So I'm going to be in Florida. It's going to be the last 2 weekends in February. We're going to run this. Let me give you the dates here. Then 18, 19, 20, and 25, 26, 27 of February. And we're going to be running a, oh God, Nancy, what's the name? It was so awesome.
Leaders of Distinction
Yes, that's it.
2022.
Leaders of Distinction 2022. And basically what it is 3 days of leadership training. For everything from learning the language of leadership to creating your leadership legacy, strategizing your leadership, the phases of where you're going in your business, doing an overview, a big picture look at your business, where it's going, including a lot of fun things. On the Friday, we're having like a wine and cheese. There'll be a bit of training. Saturday, we train all day. That includes breakfast and lunch. And we're having a dinner cruise on the boat for dinner on the Saturday night. Sunday is just kind of a closing up session. And then we're going for breakfast. And then you guys can go swim in the ocean, whatever you want to do. So that's basically what we're doing for both weekends. We're going to make it available for 2 weekends. I'll have the pricing and the web page up probably this week. I'm hoping this week or next week. Just want to let you know about it so that you guys, can come. if that's something that interests you. I mean, come to Florida. It's warm. It's not.
And I twisted her arm because she had this big, huge travel plan. And when I learned about that, I was like, you know what? Why don't you come here? Let's find you a place. And Libby and I have been talking about doing this, and we haven't done it. And so she was the perfect one to put this thing together. And we're going to keep it small and intimate,
Yeah.
group size, so that everybody really gets
Yeah.
a lot out of it. Go ahead, Kate.
So just as an FYI, they were actually shutting down the border in Canada, both in flying in and flying out. And there was an article not on the front page, but a very quietly placed one where the Justice Department told
I saw
Justin
that.
Trudeau that he cannot do that.
I saw
Right.
that,
So
yeah.
for those of us that are choosing to be unvaccinated, we still have a choice
That's
to
right.
fly.
Yeah. So yeah, like you guys know what it's like in winter. I don't even have to tell you. Claudia.
Although I think after November 8th, isn't the US requiring double vax to enter?
It just depends on the state.
Okay.
At this
Florida,
point.
guess what? We have a fantastic governor.
You got an awesome
Yes,
governor. I
you
want
do.
to party with that guy.
Florida is open for business, and he is inviting
yeah.
anybody who wants to come here,
Right.
bring your business here. He even told the police officers up in Chicago, he'll give them a $5,000.
In New York City.
And New York, y'all come on
Yeah.
down here because we'll appreciate you here in Florida.
Yeah.
We'll help you get
Laura,
here.
What happens?
I can't
What
swim that
happens
far.
flying through places? Because I was actually just looking to go to Florida next week, and I'm not going now. But it just with the fewer flights from Vancouver to Florida, it was an 8-hour transit somewhere. So do you have to also transit in a state that doesn't require the double vax?
I'm flying, of course, I'm going from Florida to Atlanta to Memphis on Wednesday, and there was nothing. I mean, I looked again last night to make sure that there was not anything that
Restrictions.
was any restriction.
Yeah, no, once you're in, it's fine.
Laura, what's the main thing we're going to achieve in the retreat in Florida? So like, what's kind of something we'll walk away with?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to be able to bring your business and your leadership to the next level and expand it. So a lot of the time when we work our business, we're working it every day, but we lose sight of the big picture. So we're going to be working that. We're going to be seeing where the holes are in your business and how to shore those up. I'm going to give you some skills about how to inspire the people on your team, and if you're working in a team or if you're working solo. I'm also going to help you create the vision of the legacy that you're looking to build over, the next number of years, whatever that looks like with you. So basically from the whole weekend, your brain is going to be full. You're going to take everything home and you're going to put it into play. So
she's talking boot camp, workshops, the whole gamut. Yeah.
Will there be a continuing, will you have a follow-up Zoom to look at some?
Absolutely, we can do something like that. I got no problem with that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not the type of instructor who just leaves people. They come and then I leave them. Like, that's not the way I work. But I work with people who do something, right? So if you're going to take everything home and tuck it in a cabinet, that's okay. But if you want to actually apply it in your business, I'm going to spend time with you making that happen.
And
I
I wish
have a lot of
Helen
it.
was here.
I have a lot of what you're describing actually kind of complete for a next 3-year plan, but if I can get away for an excuse to go to Florida and have some other mastermind ideas on what I'm doing, then that's great. But we have a 27 million in the next 3 years corporate plan broken down by week, month, quarter, everything. So we're working on putting that into action.
Yeah. We touch on every aspect of the business, from communication to expertise to systems and processes and things like that. And just get people to think outside their box. You know what that's like, right? So there are a lot of things that I've used and I've used with my mentors that are really kind of cutting edge things that are kind of cool.
And then I'm also checking into, there's a hotel that's really close by for some blocked out rooms so that we can get possibly a good price on that. And I haven't had a chance because Juanita was out of town, but Juanita, I want to get with you as well because you can help us on that. So anyways, enough about that. Just wanted her to give a little
Yeah.
bit of input to let y'all know that that's on the horizon. Do you have anything, Jessica? I know you also.
Yeah,
needed
I
to
have
leave.
to run, but I just want to say thank you to everyone. And Nancy, I poked you on Facebook for a time for us to chat. So just let me
Okay.
know if that
And
works.
I'm gonna be working with Jessica's team. I'm very
All
excited.
right, fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And we're sending you information on that too, Michelle. And just thank you, everybody, for all your support and love. And Kate, I know I owe you something too, so we're gonna get that to you. But you'll get an extra special surprise for your patients. So you know, it's all about the love. And if I can help anybody, just poke me. I'm happy to promote anything, do anything for you. And thanks for the few minutes to chat.
All right, thank you. See y'all later. Y'all have a
You guys.
wonderful, wonderful
Nancy,
weekend.
I message you, so just message me on Facebook. Okay, guys,
All
have
right.
a great week.
All right, you too.
Nancy's got a bunch of messages. She's got
I
to
know,
read.
right?
Yeah,
ahead.
I haven't read none of them. It's crazy. All right. So let's get back to our topic at hand, which was unique social media ideas to engage your audience. So we had several, and one of the things we were talking about articles, and Bruce made a comment that, you know, yes, some are better than others, and it's how you make it visually appealing. And that drives me crazy, especially if you see it, you know, the fonts and all of that stuff has to be, you know, done well. The other thing is that you can just share other articles. And Olivia, I'm going to give you the spotlight here because you do such a great job on LinkedIn with sharing and tagging folks. So talk a little bit about that, about engaging in that way, and share some tips with us, please.
Excellent. I think, well, for me on LinkedIn, what I've noticed is that people do a lot of like sharing and then crediting. So I think when you credit the idea and kind of follow up the idea and make it your own, that could be really impactful. Like, for example, there's someone that I follow on my LinkedIn, and she made this whole post about how she saw an article about, you know, taking, and this is for women, but I think guys can do it too, right? So, but, you know, it's taking a childhood photo of yourself and then a photo now, and then just talking about like, looking back in retrospect, what you would want to say to your little self. And let me go to the post and see if I can get the correct one. But what I liked about it is that, okay, she saw something and it resonated with her. She spent the time to like get the material together and then, you know, create the post and then share it out. And then other people can do the same thing, and it became this whole movement. And it was intent. The intent was to show, like, you know, little girls, like, you know, that they can aspire to be something. And, you know, and the more examples they see of women showing up and going after their dreams, the better, right? So I thought that was just a fabulous initiative. So like, pay attention to little things like that. I would say just pick your 5 people that you love to be around with. Like we talk about, you know, who you hang around with matters. So there's like 5 people that you like to hang around with and kind of be with them and be in a circle, kind of see what they do, and then check their posts often. And if there's something that inspires you, like, can I kind of contribute in that way and keep the conversation going? So that's one idea. And then you can use a search bar in LinkedIn and just to find content that you like. You know, you can search, it's a search engine. So, you know, type in a topic that you want to follow, see who's creating buzz around it, and contribute to the conversation that way. I find that's the best way to make a connection, you know, just through the commenting, see who replies back. And then you can take a look at their profile. And if there's something in their profile that you are resonating with, then you can make a connection that way. So those are some ideas about that.
Thank you. One of the things that I've been doing, in case you haven't noticed, if you haven't, you're probably under a rock, but when I'm hiring those social media ambassadors, I am making a graphic, and that serves a twofold purpose. One is welcoming them to our team, and 2, letting other people know that I'm hiring. And so not only, you know, is it a positive thing for them, but they could also use that to share out to their friends and different things. And then everybody that's in my network, they're wondering, oh my goodness, because I've had a bunch of people send me messages. What is this social media ambassador thing that you're doing? What is it that you're hiring all these people? You know, what are you doing? So that is one thing. The other thing that I want to get back on that I was doing early on with the group is I was highlighting each of you, and I want to put you in a rotation again and do that again, except for now I need like your 30-second newest, latest, greatest elevator pitch. So I need, a picture that you want me to use. And then I want to introduce you across all the platforms and give a link to your website or your business or ever what you want me to promote. And so I just want to start doing that, rotating every day, do a couple, throughout the day and start promoting our team. So that's something that you can do. The
And
other thing,
also on that note, because you said 1 and 2, I think the third one that's really important about those posts is that you're really branding yourself now. Because as soon as I see that, like I see the banner, I know there's the eagle and I know it's you, right? Like I don't scroll past it quickly. I see it now, right?
yeah, yes. And that's one of the, was the highlights on one of my categories was my branding. And that is something that you can do as well. And I know Helen has done a real good job with hers as well, all her colors and stuff, because I noticed that right away on her images. And then a couple of other ones that I found, it was talking about, share your company culture, create images or graphics for certain content, memes. One of the things that Gary Sizemore's company does really, really well, and I love every day, he posts not only just the meme, but he always has great content to go with the meme. And I need to talk to him because I don't know if he's creating that or they're creating that for him. But either way, it's very powerful and it does a really good job. And then also Juanita has been doing a fabulous job on hers as well. She's been doing interesting content. And what I've noticed is she's doing, like she done a Halloween, then she did Oktoberfest. She's traveled, but yet everything that she's bringing in has something to do, it ties in with her business. So that's something. And then let's see here, current events. You can tie things in with the holidays, current events. Let's see what else. We've been kind of hitting LinkedIn hard and heavy. Let's switch gears for a couple of minutes and let me hear for some of you that are on Instagram. Is anybody here using Instagram? If you are, let's talk about that a little bit. And what have you learned with that platform? What seems to work best and what have you found out about it? Juanita, we'll start with you.
I've been using Instagram, but I think pretty much I just take some of my real interesting pictures and putting them out there, and I'm getting feedback from the videos. They love the videos. So I'll go down to the beach every now and then and just take the picture of, the pier and the water and say, "Oh, wouldn't you like to be here at the Emerald Coast?" Or I'll grab a video from somewhere else, from some of my Germany things. And those get a lot of play on there too. But I don't know. I don't think I'm getting a whole lot of sales hits off of those.
Okay. Anybody else have anything on Instagram that they can share?
Again, with the Instagram and the Facebook and the TikTok, you can have like one post made and share it live across, or not even live, but as a story. And the stories get a lot of engagement.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. And TikTok is super fun and highly overlooked. Like it has some serious traction for business for a lot of people. I'm going to pay more attention to TikTok. You never know who's on there.
Right, right.
Did you get my one with the eagle taking the fish out of the water the other day?
I don't think I did.
Oh, it's in your messenger. I sent it
Okay,
to you. When I saw that, like the eagle literally is swimming with its wings and in the water and doing the breaststroke. And then when it pulls out, it's got this massive fish. So it's just to show how strong and
right.
determined they are.
Right. Well, thank you. Anybody else have anything for Instagram or TikTok that they'd like to share that's worked for them?
I have an amazing course that I haven't dived into for a long time, but when I did dive into it, my Instagram looked incredible. And her name is Kat Corey, I think, Kat Corey. And she did the most incredible course with once a week question and answer for life. And so I can share that because it really wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $300. And very much worth it. I'm gonna go back, I'll revisit it.
Okay. Let's move along to some video a little bit, talk about maybe StreamYard and YouTube. Obviously, YouTube is the, how-to and tutorial king and queen of social media. So as entrepreneurs, let's kind of go around the room and let's just kind of brainstorm for each person one thing that they might could do a YouTube video on. And we're going to start with Claudio, who has an idea of, one or two topics that Claudio could do a short video on to help him with his business.
You could do a fun thing of, I don't know, if you had like poker chips or something, and you could have a few of them, and then you could show them growing exponentially as you talk about what you do, to have the visual that goes with it. And you'd need a lot of poker chips to make the point, and then you could show your withdrawal so that you withdrew the amount that you initially invested, and now all of this is bonus, something like that.
So it's supposed to be, Nancy, were you talking about how-to videos?
Well, anything. Just we know what he does. Just giving him some ideas there. There you go. There you go, Claudio.
Exactly. That's perfect in
have
the
to do
background.
anything.
Yeah. You just need to show up exactly like you are now and say, would you
There
like
you
money
go.
to land in your lap?
I'm really not a bandit.
There you go.
I don't work for the mafia. I do this legally. I don't work for the mafia.
I love that.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, you just have to be
A little
super
bad boy
careful,
perspective,
super
you'll get more
careful with
attention.
compliance, like as in super careful with compliance. You
Yep.
can't be a non-finance officer and talk about money. Do you know, really?
Yep,
Online?
Oh,
Because
seriously?
Yeah, you can't.
Well,
You-
Well, that's
There's
hilarious.
cer-
You can talk about membership benefits, but
yeah.
you really can't be talking about money, and that's how some of those things get shut down.
yeah, all you can do
Seriously?
is
If
share
if you're not bought into the big system, you can't talk about money because they teach you how to be broke.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
is sad.
Well,
It's
on
sad. Trust me, it's tricky.
on any of this stuff, he says the best thing to do is just talk about your personal experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can talk about client experiences too, because health is the same. I'm
Right,
not
yeah.
allowed to talk about, helping people heal or boosting
No.
the immune system or losing weight or all of these things, but I can talk about what happened to a client of mine.
Yeah.
We
And
Right.
can always
it
talk
also
about, we
just-
can always talk about, like, when I talk about, as opposed to using the word diabetes, you use the word
Right.
sugar issues. You can
Right.
say blood when it comes to all kinds of different things. And
Yeah, you
then,
don't use
and then
the-
sharing a story. I've
Yeah.
learned that very powerfully because I've been doing that for a long time. But I didn't know that you couldn't talk about money, period, unless you were
Yeah,
a
you
finance
really-
person.
Well, you
Well,
can't,
it's just, you can't talk about like guarantee income. You always have
Oh,
to have a
heavens, no, of
disclaimer
course
and
not.
all that,
No. Yeah.
Okay.
I always
so-
give a disclaimer.
Claudia.
Always.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, so that would be a fun one he could do. One more for Claudio.
I
that he
think
could
with
do.
Claudio, it's about, I think he needs to be interviewing people that he has helped, because his big strength is his networking, not even just promoting what he has, but the ability to connect with people and then connect them out there. So if they're involved with what he's doing, that's even better. Because then, like we were just saying, you can talk about their occurrence, but I think an interview style thing would be best for Claudio.
That's a great idea.
Yep.
Okay, let's move along. I want to get as many of these done as possible. Let's talk about Kelly. She's Mrs. Tax Remedy. What could
Ooh.
she do?
So, do you, you're doing insurance, right?
No, I do really high tax advantaged remedies for people in America for the income tax.
I would do a, did you know you could get so-and-so off for this and this certain item? A lot of did you knows, because so many things change all the time.
Yeah.
well, it's like
Okay.
you've on your website and whatnot, is some of the stuff that you've published already and stuff is just kind of a background of the tax
Yeah.
system and how it works and whatnot. So it's just like do a little series.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Well, I know one topic that, I mean,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I get asked all the time when I approach people about Cash FX is, what are the tax implications? Do you get taxed if it's still in Bitcoin? Do you only get taxed when you sell your Bitcoin into cash? There's a lot of questions, and I always just tell them it's best to talk to your own accountant because every one of them has different strategies.
Yeah,
So-
and most of them don't even know. So if you can hook up with someone that is actually proficient in that area, then Claudio and I can just give you tons of clients.
And that would be a timely thing. And it wouldn't be that you would necessarily have to be the expert in that space, but since you're talking about, tax remedies, you could kind of segue into that. That's
So I
excellent.
have direct remedies for people in crypto. I know
Okay.
that's an area of concern, so.
Fantastic.
And then
You
the
have-
other
you have
thing that
some-
I think,
Kelly?
oh, sorry.
So Kelly, you said you have direct remedies in that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and we were gonna schedule an appointment, so I just actually got a great idea, so I'm gonna write it down so I remember when we talk.
Okay.
And
Um,
the other word that I think is very appealing to people is tax shelter. Do you know how to set up your tax shelters?
Yeah,
Because even though you have remedy there, they're like, remedy, what am I fixing? Do you know? I just need how to figure out how to shelter this.
There's a lot of-
from-
yeah, there's
That's
a
what
lot of
we're-
people, there's a lot of people in the crypto space. I'm actually part of a group, it's called Abundance Intelligence. And most of the people that are in it are actually from the States. And a very regular piece of the conversation is what they're doing in the States right now to try and rope people into trying to get as much tax from them through their cryptocurrency stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's a group that what might be a good connection
Well,
Where's
just
that I
in
can
general,
refer you to. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, in general, people don't realize when you're saying remedy, they don't realize that they've got
A problem.
an issue and that there is a remedy for it.
Yeah. And so there
Yeah.
may be some of those, what are the top 5 concerns that people don't know about that there is a remedy for,
Mhm.
or something like that.
Are you
Okay.
wondering what kind of implications your crypto is going to have on your tax bracket?
Yeah.
And Kelly, I mean, you could do a did you know? Because even from your webinar, if you think of what you were showing, if you just did short did you knows,
Yeah.
just put some things in there. And even when it comes to people's CPA or if they're doing their taxes themselves, I mean, I had a plug and play CPA. He was very knowledgeable, but all the burden was on me, to give him the numbers, and he just plugged them in. I mean, I could have done that for free,
Right.
and so just ask, did you know? Did you know? Because if you can create curiosity, then you can create the appointment.
Good.
All
All right. Let's go to Barry. Barry has a unique situation just because of how Melaleuca is, set up and all of that. What could Barry do and stay within his ramifications of, what the company allows? Barry, you want to give us a little background, just kind of tell us quickly like what you can and what you can't do, so that might help us give you some ideas.
Yeah, well, very quick, very simply, we can't use Melaleuca. We can advertise, we can solicit for not for working the business. So I sit here very patiently listening and getting as much information as I can, but none of it complies with our guidelines. We are incredibly focused on not using any jargon or tactics that multi-level marketing groups do, because we don't sell anything. We are not
Well,
that kind of business, as you know.
Could we not do the little interview things like I think you and I had discussed this one time before, where I could talk about you know, before I was using Clorox this, but I found this really great product from Melaleuca that I just absolutely love. And this is how it's worked. Could we do like some series of things like that where it's kind of educational, but you're talking to like different people on their favorite Melaleuca products or something? How they switched from their brand to this one?
Not using the names of the products. And I can't advertise. Simple
Well,
as that.
that's not a bad thing.
No,
It's not a bad thing that you can't use the words. Basically, I think what Nancy's getting to is that it's enticing people to want more information.
Mhm.
And so your sharing could be very short clips. Like it could be, you know, and it could be a comparative note, like you were saying, Nancy, too, but it could be a comparative note as to, you know, do you use this for this impact, and how about, you know, how would you like that result as opposed to this one? And it's, you know, very succinct as far as what the results are, right? Because you can talk about the toxic impact and how we're talking about climate change. You can
Sure.
use the things that they're using for more fear tactics as tools to actually help people make better choices.
And I mean, Barry, for instance, online with what Kate's saying, like, I know that if you have ammonia, like Windex, and bleach, neither one of those containers are allowed to be sealed tight because they need to air out. If you put them in the same cupboard together, they're actually making mustard gas, which is huge. Like, so if someone knew
Wow,
this type
there
of
you go.
information, then they would be like, what is my alternative? Do you know, like, I always use bleach, I always use Windex. And then you've got these alternatives for them. But like a lot of people don't even recognize that what they've got 20, like inside our house is the most toxic area that we live in.
Yep.
yeah,
Like,
very
that
simply, there
huge-
was a worldwide study that was done over 20 years and over 6,000 people. And the bottom line is cleaning your house once a week is as dangerous as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
There you go. Can you say something like that?
Wow.
Can you, like, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like, that's the kind of thing you need to let people know about. And then they're like, what's the answer? What's the alternative? He's on here talking about it for a reason.
Yeah,
And if you have to be ambiguous, which is really hard on you, then, you know, say, you're allowed to say membership site, right? Like we have a membership that allows you to enjoy alternatives to these.
very simply, we're North America's #1 online wellness shopping club.
And
Well,
there,
We don't sell
there-
anything.
there you go. And that's the thing. It says that you've been saying that you don't sell anything. Well,
Yes.
you do. You sell benefits of using natural products. And that's one of the things that you can emphasize. Saying that,
Gotcha.
okay, you've got all these different things and stuff. We're, you know, #1 wellness, original wellness company. We have natural alternatives to all these different things of things you're already buying. So it's just like, I think, I forget how you phrase it. So you're just changing how you're buying and replacing.
Just switching
Yeah.
stores. Simple
Yeah.
as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
Not a buying
considering,
decision, a shopping decision, I think is what he says.
And
environmentally
you can
conscious?
also,
Good, Nancy.
Barry, I was wondering, what if you considered like just reaching out to those environmentally conscious folks, right? The environmentally conscious shoppers, and just
Yep.
go from the environmental aspect. Because I love the fact that it's concentrated, you're saving money on like the packaging and plastics. So maybe approaching from that angle could be something as a way of introduction to then talking about becoming part of an environmentally friendly company and the membership benefits that they have.
Gotcha.
and then
Well, one of
also
the things that I
including
do-
some, I was going to say, including some stats, like WHO literally came out in the last month saying we now have 144,000 man-made chemicals in our world since World War II. And prior to that, it was just under 100,000. And then now all of a sudden it's 144,000.
And
So
that's only the ones that are listed.
exactly.
Right.
It's a heck of a lot more than that
Right.
poison crap.
People they just don't realize that.
Yeah.
How high that number is. And then they need to understand, what that's doing to their body, right? Which is where
then
I
the-
have the quiz and the detox and you have the products.
And then the
Right.
third part of it is the convenience.
Mhm.
Because I think people like shopping a heck of a lot less over the last 20 months than they did before that.
And I also think an important part of Melaleuca, now I don't know much about them recently. I dealt with them a long time ago. But the thing is that I know that they spend a lot of money on R&D, right?
Yes.
Like, so things like that have to be recognized, because I know for a fact, I know someone that actually manufactures Jameson, and there is 200 kilograms of ground up rock and 1.5 teaspoons of the substance. And they're allowed to put that out there because there's no R&D, there's no governing bodies, there's nothing, right? So
Well,
people are
simple
eating
nuts.
rock.
Simple numbers in Europe. The European Union bans 1,371, that was the last number I know, components of personal care products. In the United States, the FDA bans 11 components.
Yep.
And we comply with the European standards.
Nice.
Well, and Barry, even like on your 30-second and 1-minute pitches and the pitches that you've done, you always talk about the ability to shop online. So why not compare it to the Costco's and the Sam's? You could do short little videos of how long it's taking you, and how much it's costing. You have the membership, right? Because those are your membership, but how long it takes you to go and do all of that. And now you've got all this bulk stuff, and like, where are you going to put it all?
Well, not only that, but our membership is $19 for a whole year. Whereas Costco's, last I heard was Costco's renewal was over $100 per year.
Right, but your
membership is like I get like $60 a year, I think it is.
Yeah, but I mean, you can compare.
Yeah.
membership.
You gotta
Yeah,
drive
yeah.
and you gotta
You
pay.
gotta
a
drive
day.
and your time and your gas and all
You gotta
that.
drive, you have to buy bulk, right? But if you're a smaller family, here, you get to sit in the comfort of your home, drink a cup of coffee, go shopping, and buy just what you need.
It's the convenience, the benefits, and everything
Yeah.
else that you
Yeah.
can really emphasize.
And you don't have to buy a case of something or.
Yeah, you don't have to give toilet paper to the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
Although if you did that, you could make a fortune, right?
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
So
All right, let's
Thank you all.
let's
It
let's
opens
go.
my head a little bit.
Okay, good. Okay. What are you allowed to do and not to do? And let's work you for the last couple of minutes here.
it is network marketing. So obviously you cannot make health claims, and because
You might mention the name of your company for those who might not know.
it's USANA, the cellular nutrition company.
Okay.
And the direct selling industry, have really been tightening down what we can and cannot say. Like right now, where we used to be able to say inflammation, we can't say inflammation anymore.
Oh, geez.
So, yeah, I mean, when people are bad and people misuse and go against the ethics,
Yeah.
right? Then things get tougher for the rest of us. So unfortunately, that's what it is. USANA does an amazing job with the ethics department and our education thereof. But it is with USANA being a health-based, we have currently almost 80 scientists on staff that do amazing research. We've partnered with the Linus Pauling Institute, the University of Medicine in China, the University of Utah, there's one in Colorado, several others that do the third-party research, because we don't ever they want all the research vetted, basically. But what is unique is because of the technology and patent, USANA was granted a patent that has never been done before for a nutritional company because of their intelligence technology, which works with endogenous systems to increase lifespan. That's actually what the patent says. And so it's an amazing company with products that really do make a difference.
And again, that's where I would also say this is just sharing testimonials and talking with any of your customers on what they've experienced and the benefits and that.
Are you allowed to talk about this patent?
Yes, we are.
And where do these restrictions come from that you can't say inflammation? Is that FA? What is that?
SA, right?
Well,
That's
yeah,
Sales Association.
Can you say, use the word thickness or swelling?
I would have to look at
Check.
that and see. I mean, you can't make claims if it regards a health condition.
No,
in
I
the
understand that. I know how it
yeah.
works. It's symptoms.
Yeah,
Symptomology.
you can't do that at all. But USANA has an excellent, they have all the, like there's bullet points on the benefits of each product, and it's broken up into systems, whether
Yeah.
it's the endogenous system, the skeletal system, whatever.
Yeah.
And so as long as we use their verbiage, we're good. Now, I do have articles from a doctor that can use some of those terms, and I share those articles because as a doctor, he can actually use those words, but he separates his articles, and then down below are his recommendations. So,
Okay, think about just your everyday people here. Okay, all that to me is like Charlie Brown. Wah 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 wah.
yep.
So let's think about what would get my attention. Okay, here I am. I'm almost 60 years old, going through menopause, or whatever the situation is. What is going to get my attention? What products or product or something do you have that maybe you could highlight? Can you highlight a product and talk about, like, not say what it does? I mean, like, talk
Tell a
about it
story.
without.
Yeah.
Tell a story.
Yeah, and that's one of the things is with anything that we share and talk about, so that we don't lose people, we got to avoid the really high tech jargon and whatnot. We need to keep it at like 5th and 6th grade level.
Well, the reason that I'm saying is because when I got in a conversation with Barry one day, I did not realize when I said, Barry, oh my gosh, I did not realize all the different things. Because when he talks about his, and I'm not picking on Barry because it's everybody that's in direct sales. Okay. This is who I'm talking to. Was I didn't realize, I said, oh my gosh, how many shopping aisles do you have in Melaleuca? Because I was not aware of all the different products. And I said, well, we all know you're with Melaleuca. How about each week highlight a different product that you have and compare it, with something else, what you could switch it with or something like that. That way you're educating our group. Well, my deal with Kay and Melissa and all of you who are in the health and wellness, you could be doing the same thing. Okay, we know what you do, but now educate us on the different products that you have and like you said, what they've helped others. I know you can't do what you can't do, but at the same time, that way when I run across somebody, or you would say, oh, Nancy was having hot flashes last month, this would be great for her. But if we don't know what products that you have, all we know is you're assuming that everybody knows you only have 5 products, or that Barry has 197, or whatever the deal is. We don't assume that. So let's start educating people on your products that you have, in my opinion.
And one of the things too is that they're finding is that people essentially like vomit whatever they're selling on everybody. It's like that is a huge turnoff. Doing like a commercial, buy this. You do it just as did you know this is some of the benefits, or just saying, hey, I'm here doing, whatever your everyday thing. Maybe you're making a shake or whatever and stuff. You do a video. It's like, I'm just making my shake today. It's this flavor. These are the benefits and stuff. Have a great day. It's just, just real short little things just to spark some interest.
Love that, Barry. Thank you.
Estro Pro, Nancy.
I don't have them anymore. I only had them for a few weeks. Can y'all believe that? I'm going to be the exception to the rule.
Wow.
I'm done. In and out. 6 weeks.
Yeah, what I can tell you, with my blood work last year, my hormones were off, and she wanted me, she wouldn't work with me if I didn't get a mammogram. I told her I'm not getting a mammogram. So she said, okay, then I can't help you. So I thought, well, I'll just start taking the Estro Pro. So I started taking the Estro Pro, and everything's fine now. So I'm
Wow.
good.
So can you talk about that in your social media?
Yeah.
No, you'd have to be pretty careful about that.
Yeah, you are allowed to say support. So like, we have products that support the immune system. We have products that support menopausal.
Well, that would be very helpful for somebody like me who may not know what your company provides.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the story you just told us with your blood work. Can you say that? Like, can you say, I went and got my blood work done. It was concerning. I couldn't wait. So I went on a product, and now I'm feeling great and things are coming back great. Or you don't say any blood work results, but you're saying now I'm balanced, I'm in synergy or whatever.
I can't say that the Estro Pro
Healed you or whatever.
Yes, healed me or did any of that. One of the things they've brought restrictions on is I can tell my story, but somebody else can't tell my story, because what I say is not legal for them to say. It's just,
Okay.
This is me. This is what happened to me.
Yeah. Personal testimonials.
You can get yes, but you can get in trouble if it's somebody else's testimony. So it's really weird how they're.
But what if somebody that's not in the company says your testimony?
Pardon?
What if somebody that's not in your company says your testimony? Just curious.
Yeah, you should be able to do that.
Like, as in, like, what if I, was plugging you or something and I said your testimony?
And you don't have to say a name. You just say,
I don't have to
got
say
a
a
friend
name.
that had
DM me for details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not stating the company, the product.
And that's news to me that I'm not seen anything, because I'm in a couple different, direct selling wellness companies, and haven't seen anything where we're not allowed to share other people's testimonials. Not seen anything saying
Yeah.
that.
There are certain restrictions where you can, but you have to be extremely careful on the words, because the words
Well,
I
again,
use, you may not be able to.
Well, that's with anything, you can't say a specific illness or disease,
Right.
and you can't cure it or whatever, but yeah. So.
All right, let's wrap this up. I want to be respectful of your time. Did you find
Thanks,
this
Nancy,
helpful
everyone.
today? Did y'all find this helpful today?
Yep.
Very.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's keep
Bring 'em
on
on.
keeping on. Thank you all for your participation. Have a wonderful week.
I'm not gonna be here the next 2 Fridays. I've got Ellie's immersive event next week, and then the following week I'm in a speaker training event. So.
All right, and I'm going to be gone to Arkansas.
I put this in the chat, but I have a challenge coming up November 1st, which is a 30-day master your habits, elevate your life. And what I'm thinking is, if you're in there and you are celebrating your wins every day as you're getting advanced in your own habits, it can also kind of subtly let people know what you're up to that are in that group, and you're more than welcome. I'd like to invite you for 50% off. If it's a price thing, just DM me and we'll be able to work something out.
All right.
And Kate, I have to send you your link.
Lovely Olivia will be hosting next week while I'm gone to Arkansas to help with a friend of mine since second grade son's getting married. So I'm going to be helping with wedding festivities. So I'm not sure whether I'll be in or out, but no matter what, I'll be here in spirit.
Sounds
So y'all
good.
have a
Right.
fabulous weekend.
Safe
Thanks,
to
Y'all
Nancy.
next
Bye,
time.
everyone.
Have a great weekend,
Bye.
everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Save the chat.
Bye-bye.